Want to ban them? Nah, don't ban them. Okay, that was good. Whew! Okay, they can stay in chat. I love them. Are you sure no ban? Yeah. You found a real one in chat? Yeah. Sorry for those of you who wanted me to take that more seriously, but like, to be fair, there are limits. There are limits, aren't there? There are hard limits on the extent to which I can keep the fences, together. Yeah, it's pretty tough. Yeah, we bounced around a lot of stuff there. So, to be a little bit more specific, historically, the idea of a nation is literally the most ambiguous term, like in all of human history, okay? So, like, what does it mean to make a nation? Ask 50 people and you'll get 52 answers. That's the problem with nation as a prescriptive definition. So I like using the term nation state as like a very meaningless, like blanket, whatever, if it has borders, nation state kind of thing. Because when people start arguing prescriptively over what a nation is, you get really, really, really dangerous arguments. I'm serious. Look online and look for the groups of people who are talking about like ethnic national technicalities. They are like 99% far right nationalists who do want to kill large numbers of people. You know what I mean? You understand this, right? Like, you can go and look for that. It's like a really, and the thing is, it's pointless. You're not actually adding any validity to, like, you're not like gaining knowledge. You're just you're just like forming boundaries to hurt people. He explicitly said the Jews weren't German. Yeah. Like, do you remember earlier in the convo, he literally said, like, yeah, the Jews weren't German. Like, who, that knowledge, that belief, who do you think that serves? You know? The world that guy wants, the world that guy's like logic leads to, is one in which the world is broken up into 7,000 microscopic ethnostates, where people only get to live in areas where their bloodlines can be traced back 5,000 years, and they're constantly warring with each other over land disputes, over like one farmstead that's been around since the 18th century. Yeah, the ultra-Balkanization, typical of a Serb, not a Serb, sorry, Slav. They want to fucking Slavify the whole world. Are you saying even using these taxonomies is mentally toxic? Yeah. I mean, like, phrenology is a taxonomy, after all. Like, not, like, just because a taxonomy exists doesn't mean it's useful at all. There are terms and categories that are just, like, empirically bad and useless. With, like, no, yeah, with no, assistance. Or sorry, just no help at all. But you guys get what I'm coming from, or where I'm coming from here, right? All you had to do is Google nationality and put definition one examples on screen. No, I don't want to argue over definitions. That's not the point. Do you really think that guy would have like chilled with like a definition reading? I read a definition from Wikipedia. It didn't shut him up. The point here isn't about like the definitions. It's about like the arguments that you can make for these ideas. All descriptive assessments are implicitly prescriptive, unfortunately. Language just works that way. Yeah, nationality, the status of belonging to a particular nation. But that's like it's like self-referential, because a nation would be like the nationality or whatever. Anyway, so yeah, to summarize all of that, like, here's the thing, okay? There is no hard definition for what is or is not an ethnic divide. I think you can make a very strong argument that there are strong ethnic divides in America only between like white descendants of settlers, you know? Like, if we're just talking white people, I think that you can form strong ethnic divides with like Southerners versus like Midwesterners versus like the Northeastern Atlantic, New England area types or whatever. Like, certainly rural and like urban areas of America are so culturally different that it feels like not ascribing some kind of ethnic division there is like really, really, yeah, like pretty weird. But yeah, ethnicity just refers to like different ethnicities can come from like anything. Different ethnicities can be determined by language divides, geographic divides. They can be determined by cultural divides, historical divides. It can be determined by like anything, you know? There are so many ethnicities in the world, and I think that's beautiful. And I think that nation states are just a broad, arbitrary collection of borders drawn, lines in the sand, that kind of tend to vaguely group people of similar backgrounds. But I don't think that's like a prescriptive, everyone in there is one ethnic group thing, right? Because every country that's ever, like, every modern nation state contains multiple ethnicities. Find a true ethnostate anywhere in the world. Even Japan has different ethnic groups within it, you know? He was saying it was socially real, not literally real. It's not socially real, though. It's not. Because there are hundreds of ethnic groups in America, probably, that Americans would never say they're not American to, you know? It's not socially real. And when people say that bullshit, where they're like, I'm not racist for pointing it out, it's just true, it reminds me of what the racists say. This, like, oh, I'm not saying anything radical here, I'm not making any arguments you all haven't already heard. Everyone knows that America's for white people, I'm not like prescriptively making that argument, just everyone knows, like I've heard that from racists before, and it's the implicit it's the implication of prescriptivism. It's very dangerous. Goddamn, dude, you don't listen. Brandy, I love you, but all I did that convo was try not to listen to you. We have a race-based conception of nationalism. Okay, race and ethnicity aren't the same thing, man. First of all. And second of all, even if we have a race-based conception of nationalism, that's no reason to use the racists' definition of nationalism, assuming that was entirely the case, which it's not. You're literally doing the meme. You're like, well, racists consider America to be a white country, so that means America is a white country, Like, do you realize how insane that is? That's literally what you're saying. That's wild. Like, why would you just give up on that point? Yeah. I don't even think that's true, but like, yeah, and that's not even ethnicity, that's race. There are tons of European ethnicities that are all totally white. Okay, enough. I'm being descriptive. I literally said nationalism should be eradicated. I don't believe you think nationalism should be eradicated, Brandy. I think you're a fascist. I know that's a hot take coming from me, but I think you're just a fascist. I think you're blood and soil, man. I think you wanna rape Turkish women and kill like Turkish people or whatever your ethnic bugbear is. I don't fucking know. That's wild though. Jews aren't German. You can rape a cop. Like, yeah, you've got brain problems, man. Play less EU4. Go outside. Good luck. I think Brandy's very young. He just sounds very young. He'll figure this shit out when he graduates high school. Well, never let it be said that I held back. Oh yeah, everyone, Slava Ukraini. Vaush is a master of the 5 clicks to Hitler debate tactic. True, but also to be fair, he did help me out, didn't he? Jews aren't German. Like that's not a 5 clicks to Hitler. That's a 1 click to Hitler. I think on the Wikipedia page for Jews are not German or can't be German, there would be on that page would be a hyperlink to Hitler. It's right up there. He's trying to call you a patsoak while being a patsoak. Yeah, of course. Yeah, it's the Hitler Cliff Notes statement. You find the Jews aren't German in the Hitler Wikipedia page. Remember, guys, there's nothing more anti-fascist than that's literally how Germany saw Jews. Why would I say something like this is a very Hitlerite belief, and you're like, okay, to be fair though, Hitler did believe it. Why would? What? Why? God. Yeah, Slava Ukraini. Remember, opposing the invasion of Ukraine is meaningless unless you support the defense against that invasion. It's as meaningless as saying that you oppose rape, but do not support like women defending themselves against rapists. It's an absolutely meaningless. It's insulting for how meaningless it is. Sorry, Slava Ukraini. Yeah, no, you. Ooh. So the Iraqi can kill a U.S. vet because it's meaningless to be against the invasion of Iraq unless you want to defend the invaders? My guy, Barandi, the Iraq war is over. A U.S. vet in Iraq is a vet, not a person currently in the act of invading. This is what I mean by your brain damage right now. This is the essentialism. This is why you want to kill Jews, okay? To you, a person actively raping someone is analogous to a veteran present in a country we're no longer at war with, no longer engaging in military action. In your mind, these are the same things because of the damage. Okay, that's enough. But don't ban that person. I like them. And also, they'll come around. Okay, that guy is crazy, but some of the history he's talking about is true. Don't conflate things he was describing with things that he endorses. It's factually true Jews were not considered German for a long time. Okay, 2 things. First of all, he was saying now, I'm pretty sure. Like, are Jews German now? In which case, he's making the choice to adopt, like, a century-old idea. Second of all, there is a huge difference, a massive difference, between saying they used to not consider Jews German and saying Jews aren't German. Like, there's a huge difference there, Because I'll happily say, yeah, Americans for the longest time haven't considered so-and-so Americans. I don't give a fuck what other people consider what, I'll attribute that to bias. By my definition, and by the definition that a lot of people use colloquially when they're not clouded by bias, because here's the critical thing, people who have an ethnic standard for nationality in their own country don't for other countries. Do you think all the white ethnostators here in America who think America is a white country have strong opinions on whether or not all these given people really are Greek, Turkish, Chinese, Indonesian, Filipino, Brazilian? But no, they don't. They'll apply the conventional standard of national identity to everyone else. They only care about their own because of bias. It's racial bias, Yeah, and not in my backyard thing. And I don't consider that to be like a standard or consistent argument. I think overwhelmingly people have a non-ethnic understanding of nationality, and people will overlook that out of bias when it comes to their countries if they're racist. That's my idea.